Assalamu alaikum and good day to everybody. Sorry for a bit late because there was some technical issues. So let me confirm whether you can hear me. Just checking on my live LinkedIn and YouTube channel. Okay, so sound is clear. So let me um, invite. Yes, let me bring in Prof. Shahid also. Yes, Prof. Shahid, can you hear me?
Hi. I don't know is what is the time zone difference. I'm in Barbados. I was asleep. Actually, I didn't realize the time zone difference. I thought it's tomorrow. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm here. I My wife woke me up from the sleep and said you're supposed to be online for the session. So I'm here.
Uh,
I quickly changed. I was asleep, fast asleep. It's almost 9:30 here.
sure, sure.
9:30, yeah. So
PM, right?
yeah,
And
it's
in Malaysia, we have the almost opposite in 9:28 a.m.
okay. It
Yeah,
was a long, tiring day for me,
no
working, and then
worries.
we came traffic jam, and then I took my dinner, and then I slept actually.
Yeah,
So I'm so
Prashad,
sorry. I'm so
no
sorry
worries.
for
It's
making all
okay.
the yeah.
Yeah, we can understand that. It's just slightly if you move right, because there is a light reflection at the back.
Is that
Out,
okay?
no, the other side,
Uh,
other
Maybe
side.
okay. Just wait. Maybe I
Sure,
change
sure.
switch off this light.
Okay, so those who just join in, as from the
Is
title,
that
you
okay?
know,
Is that okay?
yeah, much better
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just, could you introduce yourself? Because those who are watching us first time, I know you were actually my colleague at IMU University. And I learn a lot from you when it comes to medical education. And during COVID, actually, this collaboration and partnership grew a lot. And could you introduce yourself briefly and then we will move on?
Um, Okay, I'm Shahid Hassan. I work as a professor and associate dean academics and the American University of Barbados. Previously, I was International Medical University, Malaysia. Now I work here, and my role is uh, being an educator. I mostly am engaged with faculty development and curriculum development. I'm also the chair for the curriculum development and also the chair for the staff appraisal committee. So in that role, mostly I do faculty development, particularly in the given era, post-COVID era, where all over, not in my school, but all over, there has been a paradigm shift from curriculum practice, a paradigm shift from face-to-face on-campus learning to mostly an hybrid kind of learning where we were engaged with the totally online emergency remote teaching. So that's the area where I mostly work. I am keenly interested in research, particularly in assessment, curriculum development, curriculum design, and faculty development. These are the areas where mostly I'm engaged with. I have written 5 books, and one of the recent book was where I was the chief editor. We have over 80 authors from all over the world. It was the global medical education in the current and the challenging time, which mostly covered the COVID pandemic experiences. So this is my brief introduction, and my basically My clinical practice has been in otorhinolaryngology, which is the ENT, head and neck and thyroid surgery.
Yeah.
I'm basically a surgeon turned into you may call medical educationist. So my medical education has been from Maastricht University of the Netherlands, and then I'm PhD in this, and especially my PhD thesis was the technology engagement in pedagogy, and how
Mm.
technology has really made the difference. What we observed as in unprecedented challenge of the COVID and post-COVID era, where
Yeah.
we realized that technology alone is not sufficient, but technology has to be in a way where any teacher or the faculty that teaches in medical education, should be expert in designing and learning rather than using a technology or pedagogy alone. So that didn't work. So my area of research and thesis was on this TPACK, what you call, popularly known as TPACK, which is technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge. So that's briefly my introduction. And currently, I'm working mostly with the competency-based medical education. With that, we practice ACGME standards, and there is an obligation on us from the CAMHP accreditation also to shift from the traditional curriculum to competency based. So my most of the recent work is mostly competency based medical education and the TPACK. That's my brief introduction, and
Sure, wonderful. Actually, all the key initiatives and key milestones what you have achieved, I think you have mentioned. Actually, it's a lot more you have done. So I would actually suggest my audience to go and Google, and you will see a lot of
they can
publications. And
they can visit me on LinkedIn.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
maybe I will share later on the link also. So
Okay.
let's move on quickly on our topic.
Okay.
So as you mentioned that you have done your PhD in this area, like how we can align,
Uh-huh.
TPAC with competency-based framework, and how we could manage technology, but under the cover of pedagogy, right?
Okay.
So maybe I have some questions I can
Okay.
ask.
Okay.
Um, but what was the main challenge before even I ask my question? It's just pop up
Yeah.
now. What was the main challenge you face when it comes to implementing technology for teaching and learning, especially in lesson plan design?
Okay. Thank you for this question. And this is, I would say this question covers all the background that made me to learn. I'm an old timer. You may call me. I was trained basically as a clinician, and all the interest that we developed in technology was during the emergency remote teaching of the COVID. And I'm thankful to Hasnan and IMU for giving me that expertise, though I acquired those expertise because that become imperative to practice curriculum. So many of my colleagues actually they retired early because of this challenge. They couldn't cope up with. They were experts. The I would say the main concern is that whenever um, we are employed as a medical teacher in medical institution. We are employed basically based on our expertise in our basic or clinical sciences disciplines. We are employed that. You go to the kindergarten, you ask for a position. They will, even if you're PhD, they will not be concerned. They will ask the experience of teaching in kindergarten, and they will ask the qualification in that. Uh, our medical education is a field where we are inducted into the medical field based on our expertise, basic subject expertise, the subject master. If we are
Mm.
subject master in a particular area, we are employed. At the time of employment, nobody would ask, what experience teaching do you have? Can you handle hybrid teaching? Can you handle the, face-to-face teaching with or without technology and all? So those experiences were never asked. We are engaged as a faculty, teaching faculty based on a discipline-based expertise. That really, that kind of gap, we were exposed in the unprecedented challenge area of the COVID, where we were moved from on campus or face to face to emergency remote teaching. So basically, the pandemic forced medical education into rapid, unplanned experiment. We began as an emergency remote teaching, but we realized that technology alone, and many of the institutions digitalized themselves, but digitalization alone didn't work, right?
Mhm.
Technology alone does not transform education, but design does. So
Yeah.
that's the point where the TPAC came in. Meaning TPAC, just to give you that technology, the TPAC is the abbreviation of the technology, pedagogical content knowledge,
Knowledge. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So design is something where now every faculty member who is engaged as a teacher must know how to design their learning. It's not just having delivering a face-to-face lecture, whatever way with the expertise we have, we deliver. No, how best learners can learn, especially the adult learner I'm talking about, how best they can learn, and how the pedagogy or this teaching strategy will help them learn better. And on top now is how technology will transform this learning experience into a long retention, with long retention memory of the learned areas.
Yeah. Thanks for comprehensive answer. And I already actually shared your LinkedIn profile in the chat, and those who are live, they can actually go and connect with Prof. Shahid's profile on LinkedIn and actually virtually can connect. And those who will be watching the recorded session or recorded format of this Q&A session, feel free to post your questions in the comment later on. And if Prof. Shahid and myself, if we get time, we'll actually answer. So once again, thanks for joining live. And now let's move on to
My pleasure.
my my next question.
Mhm.
Um, how does or even before that, like how does integrating TPACK and CBET frameworks transform traditional lesson planning design?
Okay, that's an important question again. You see, as I said, faculty development has been my area where I work, mostly engaged with my medical school, the AUB, American University of Barbados Faculty Development Program, where we realized that faculty development is a process that goes on in every institution has been doing in their way, engaging the expertise from outside, or they have this expertise within. But faculty development mostly is done as in a workshop or day or 2 day course. But mostly faculty learn to forget. They learn,
Mm,
and the impact is not looked upon. And how this will be, evaluation is not done, how this faculty training or faculty development that has been done in an institution will help them to practice it, or will evaluate what the impact of the faculty development has been. So that's where I realized that alone doing all this workshop is meaningless. It doesn't lead you anywhere. Faculty
mm,
learn, they forget if they do not practice, right? So there has to be a system where the learning should be more skilled. So there,
Mm-hmm.
this I learned from the vocational training. You see, the vocational training, their focus is mostly on skills rather than knowledge based. Knowledge, of course, you have to have knowledge to perform skills, but then I read through and I experienced with, and I did a course, TVET course here in Barbados, which was a 10 weeks course where we learn how the TVEC, the vocational kind of experience can help, not what we learn in faculty development, we practice it also. So where the competency is not competency based medical education, it is competency CMET, CBET,
Yeah.
competency based education and training.
Mm.
So I brought this concept in faculty development to train my faculty in TPACK, meaning that when we combine competency based education and training to train faculty with the TPACK, it really worked. The concept of, you see, level 4 training, it's a level 4 training where trainer, after having trained with the TVET or the competence based education training program, they actually are licensed to have level 4 training. They are the coach level 4 training. So that kind of concept I brought into faculty development. It worked, and we evaluated our faculty development program in TPAC that it worked very well. Faculty, not only during their sessions, they showed their interest through feedback, so their reflection, but later on
Mm.
we also Kirkpatrick evaluation framework we used, and we found some of them has practice, and over time we found that our curriculum is truly the outcome of what the faculty was trained in TPAC,
Yeah.
especially with the AI and all invent, it has become important. So there's how the competency-based education training concept or approach was used to incorporate TPAC framework into curriculum.
Great. Okay. One thing after reading our paper, which we published just, I think last week, at the
Yeah.
eve of, I think, um, I discovered, like, how you did not, being a associate dean of the school, you did not restrict faculty using Gen AI tools, but
Uh-huh.
you follow the approach of guided integration, where thanks for inviting me to conduct few sessions to your faculty members and guide them. So how you could elaborate further?
Okay. Basically, I'm slightly I'm having the hangover of my. I have a jet lag also. I've recently traveled from
No
Malaysia
worries. I
to
mean, I
yeah.
can I can assist you in that. Like, for
Yeah.
example, you see in other institutions,
So I just want you to repeat your question. I didn't
yeah,
get
sure, sure.
the
Like,
niche of the question.
yeah, the whole approach you have applied in faculty development, it was not restriction.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for
you
this
you
question.
actually guided, you follow the guided approach,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
where you engage like experts from outside of your institution and asking them, let's have a training session. And
Okay.
then, yeah, so could
Yeah.
you elaborate further, how
Oh,
was
okay,
that?
I will. I will. Thank you for this question. Actually, what happened in Barbados Medical Council actually sent their team to all medical school in Caribbean and Barbados particularly, and they explored how we are responding to this AI
Mm,
in teaching and learning. Are we restricting our students? Are we restricting faculty? Or what steps have been taken by medical schools? So our policy here was that we will not restrict, rather we will train them,
mm,
but train them how to logically use, how to use proper prompts to get the desired learning experience and use that. So the mainstay of this discussion with Barbados Medical Council team was they wanted us to what steps have we taken. So, for example, we didn't restrict them and gave the example. For example, they were given assignments. Assignment on one of the assessment in our MD program, and just to let everybody informed, we follow ACGME inspired standards, right? So, which is basically 6 core competencies. Our entire curriculum is based on that SAGB 6 core competencies. So we what we did, so assessment one of the assignment was one of the assessment. So we were really concerned whether the students are submitting their assignments done by the chat GPT or AI assisted. Then we said it was not easy to restrict them, and most of the software that is coming to look to sort of look at the plagiarism and all
Mm.
is not really what it's asking me to allow. Oh,
No
time
worries.
zone is
Yeah, just continue.
okay.
We can
What
hear
is
you.
this? Is popping up somewhere here something? Okay. Anyway, so we had the assignment, so we didn't have the kind of access how to detect the plagiarism using, but because recently most of the those tools are not working, they are
Yeah,
not
it's
working
not
truly and
100% accurate. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So we said, okay, now we modified. We said assignment, everybody will do assignment. We are not
Mm.
interested how you do it.
Yeah.
But if you are using chat GPT or AI assisted the assignments, then doing assignments, that in that case, you should give us which software you have used, which tool have you used, and how
Hmm.
do you compare one tool with the other tool. Or on the top, what assignment they have done, they will present, they will defend
Hmm.
themselves. So they
Great.
will face a supervisor and their peer
Hmm.
reviewers. See, so every assignment was linked to presentation, their
Yeah.
defense. So we thought, like, uh, a medical school has a bank, questions bank.
Mm.
Supposing you have 1,000 questions in the bank,
Yeah.
right? And you're worried those questions bank should not leak, those should not come in market and all. So
Hmm.
what you do, what protection do you do? You do lot of proctoring and all. But supposing those 1,000 questions which is there to assess anybody's capabilities or knowledge base or skill base capabilities. So in that case, if your 100,000 questions are leaked, it doesn't bother you, because if they have learned those 1,000 questions that you have developed, based on that the content they have learned, they have. So that concept we brought in. I said, okay, we are not restricting you.
Mm.
Use ChatGPT. Give us a summary on at the end which tool have you used, and then come and present your work. So
Yeah.
presentation, supervisor question. So when they defend, actually they have learned the subject area. So once they have
Mm.
learned, then this is what the outcome which we have set for their learning. And if that is achieved, we are not really bothered how they learn. So that
Yeah.
is, yeah. So that's
Mhm.
the basic thing that we brought change to our practice of the curriculum
Mm.
among the students and faculty.
Yeah. So great, great. I think my other question would be like, in what ways does structured reflective practice support resilient and hybrid instructional design principles, when you are
Okay.
actually planning all this?
Okay. So basically, the TPACK framework
Mm.
educator role is from content delivery to learning architect. Okay.
Mm.
The importance is three things are important here. What must the learner be able to do?
Mm.
Right? Meaning the content and the competency, which refer back to the outcome, the learning outcome.
Yeah.
What must the learner be able to do after the session of a class or whatever the skills or lab work they are doing? So
Mm.
content, competency, and it refers back to outcome. Second thing is what teaching strategies, what teaching strategies best supports this, how the content is learned, what
Mm,
teaching strategies has been or designed, and
mm,
then how or what the technology meaningfully enhance this learning. So
mm,
this is where the TPAC comes in. It's not the technology use alone. Many institutions emphasize on faculty learning the technology, and many of the experts, subject area experts, they left or they retired early because they couldn't cope up with those technology. And Hassan, you have been teaching us through e-learning a lot of tools, and I learn one tool and I forget the other tool how to do it. So there are so many complex steps. Either
mm,
we remember our subject area or we go into technology. But it's not that the TPAC actually emphasizes not the use of technology, but
mm,
meaningful use of the technology, right? Which tool will you use? It is not that whatever tool in the markets are, we learn all those tools, irrespective of how we are going to use those tools in my. If some tool which I feel is not really helping me in my delivery of the content, I shouldn't be bothered about. But those tools which, so this is three areas. What must be learned? What must the learner be able to do,
yeah,
and what teaching strategy best supports this, and what technology meaningfully enhance, not replace the process,
yeah.
enhance the process.
Wonderful. I think if I summarize, and please add on if I miss
Mhm.
something. So, what you are discussing in like last couple of minutes, like you are fostering the metacognitive awareness among the faculty. So, they not just merely use tools, but to go deeper understanding of why, how, and which pedagogy principle they could actually align with those tools and technology, and
Correct.
this will really leads to like increased metacognitive awareness among faculty, and in return they will have a stronger professional judgment, and they can align technology, pedagogical, and content knowledge, and can even engage learner more. So if that's what, if I
That
summarize,
that's right. That's right.
yeah,
And you talk about the metacognition. Talk about this is very basically actual knowledge. We have procedural knowledge, but to perform, but so if we are using a technology into our curriculum practice, and we are not really aware of how this technology will enhance my learning, then it doesn't work. You are
yeah,
right. So metacognition means awareness about the knowledge, not to the extent where I become an IT expert or e-learn expert.
mm,
I should know how much this technology will help me, and I will give you example as you go on. Okay.
yeah. And other thing is like how you ensure the pedagogical coherence, with all this process of as you mentioned, like learning architect, our role is slightly changed,
Okay.
so
Basically, from faculty development initiative that most of the institution would do, and so are we doing, and research, empirical
mm,
research. Uh, One consistent lesson we all learn from the emergency room teaching: the educators do not resist technology.
mm,
It was the impression, right? As the COVID came in, and the and e-learn, when e-learn you started, IMU started training us in e-learning tools, we
mhm.
found it, oh, it's so difficult, where are they dragging us? But then we realized, the research realized, that the educator do not resist technology, they resist poorly designed integration,
Mm,
right? That point is very important. How the technology would be integrated in my teaching to help me enhance the engagement or the learning experience of the learner. When faculty are supposed to understand why a tool is used, how it supports pedagogy, and where it fits is within the discipline content, adoption becomes confident and sustainable. So that is the point where the post-COVID experience help us in designing authentic these basic sciences and the clinical learning, assessment validity, competency-based education principles, and the lifelong digital adaptability.
Yeah.
And the TPAC, in my opinion, should be reviewed as a framework. It's a framework,
Mm,
it's not theory. Many people think it's a theory after theory. No, it's not a theory, it's a framework, and it's very flexible, and you
mhm.
should use it. But as a professional competency and quality assurance mechanism will help you from modern medical education practices of the curriculum using or
Mm.
incorporating TPAC. I hope I
Yeah.
answer your
Yeah,
question.
yeah, great, great. Okay, now I will change the mode of our Q&A session. Very
Mhm.
quick. You have to just answer very quickly, you know.
Okay.
I will have like couple of questions and then we'll move on if any questions from the audience, and
Mm.
then we will wrap up and our
You are
session.
saying very quick, right? I'm wondering whether I'm that alert at this time of when I woke up from sleep.
Yeah,
I
no
think I
worries.
get.
No worries. The good thing is I'm actually part of this study somehow, so
Yeah,
I will
thank you very
assist
much
you.
for that.
Don't worry.
Yeah, for the audience, because
Yeah.
I'm not e-learning expert, so when I started this TPAC training for my faculty development, then I invited Hasnan, and he delivered almost six session, and two more are left. We are
Mm,
going to have it soon, which is about the
yeah.
micro learning content development.
Mm,
So these two sessions we are having on 12th and 13th. So that
sure.
will complete our cycle of the development. So thank you very much for
No worries.
collaborating in this program.
Okay, so according to your study or our study, what is the recommended approach for educational institutions regarding Gen AI tools as opposed to more common restrictive responses by majority, in early stages?
Yeah.
So I think I already mentioned that like the approach you
Yeah, I
use
think I
was,
responded to this question.
yeah,
How you can change, but instead of restricting, accept it, but accept it logically.
yeah, and implement by providing a scaffolding concept.
Yeah, correct.
Don't like just say yes or no and then
Yeah,
leave the faculty.
faculty development is very important, and so
Yes.
is the student development into it. Don't just leave them stranded and using the tool randomly without any meaning to those tools that has been used.
Hmm.
So it
Yeah.
has to be in a very logic and organized way and meaningful way.
Wonderful. Okay, my other question is like the faculty development course, which you have actually designed and developed and are implementing at American University of Barbados. Describe in the research which was grounded on framework and theories. So why
Yeah.
why you among all, Jeff, if I list few, like we
Mm,
have summer, we have universal design learning model, we have constructivism,
mm,
connectivism, Bloom's taxonomy, ADDIE model, but you
mm.
picked TPAC and CBET. So what
Yeah.
was the reason or logic of combining these two? And I'm
Okay.
sure you have
Yeah, yeah.
successful results.
You
Yeah.
see, we have a lot of theory to grounded theory,
Mm,
which help us develop faculty into it, into various innovative areas or the areas that they are practicing, and they should know mandatory know certain basics in teaching. um, uh, we realized that it is very important that what is learned should be practiced, right?
mm,
Otherwise, it is like learning to forget or unlearn what we have learned. So it
mm,
goes in futile. A lot of faculty development, it takes a lot of time, expertise, involvement, engagement, funding, and
yeah.
then there's no use, there's no impact.
Mm,
So I realized since TPAC is most about how the technology can complement pedagogy and content.
mhm,
So we thought there should be a model. All the theory,
mm,
uh, as I said, TPAC is not theory after theory. It is more of a framework.
mm,
But taking the help of the grounded theory, So we studied a lot on that before launching our this faculty development in TPAC. We
Mm.
found that competency-based education training would be very useful, which
Yeah.
focuses on job identification, right? So when
Mm.
you're doing a faculty development program, first thing is to identify the job or the task,
Mm.
right? Or the competency in the
Yeah.
development. That is very important area.
Mm.
So if you focus on that, and that is where we found it
Mm.
from the competency based education and training to bring in
Mm.
that the identified competency or task in faculty development, which everybody learn and learn to practice. So
Yeah.
this is how competency based education training approach help us. So
Mm.
that is an approach, right?
Yeah.
And TPAC is the framework.
Yes. So in our e-learning domain, we call need analysis, needs
Yeah,
analysis. So
you have to do the need
yeah.
analysis survey is mandatory for each faculty development program.
Yeah. Correct.
We do regularly
Mm.
among the student, among the faculty, assessment. So need assessment, why need assessment we do? We have to identify the gaps
Mm.
that should be focused in faculty development program.
Yeah. So
So,
my next question would be because I have few more questions, and
okay.
which will actually summarizes what you have implemented in your institution. Like and a lot of other institutions, especially medical education institutions, are facing these challenges. What we are discussing, like the study you have done is like what would be the most critical determinant of educational integrity in the age of AI? Like, are you going for AI detection software? Yes or no? Why no?
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
no.
How about assessment redesign?
Absolutely no.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I totally agreed with you. How about assessment redesign?
How the assessment is designed? Okay. This is also very important. How do you redesign your assessment?
Mm,
So, assessment basically should be focused on achievement of the outcomes,
mm-hmm.
right? So the
Yeah.
achievement, yeah. So the achievement of the we have lot of assessment going on, like for example, MCQs, OSCEs.
Mm.
These are
Tools we
time
use.
tested.
Mm. It seems you're a bit frozen. The voice is broken. Yeah.
So
Now it's
showing
okay.
something.
No, yeah. Now
Uh,
now it's okay. Now it's okay.
okay.
Mm.
So the assessment has to address that also, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, we brought in not the
Mm.
MCQ and the OSCEs,
Mm.
right? We
Yeah.
brought in presentations, presentation,
Oh, like
giving
Viva
assignment.
voice concept, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Viva, yeah, table Viva. So whatever you call it. So the presentations,
Mm.
and we designed rubrics to mark those
Mm.
presentations. And we didn't restrict any one students using ChatGPT, but when they present and they defend, and if they defend properly, that means they have used those software to
Yeah.
learn the knowledge, but they know uh, how this knowledge will help them in performing the task.
Mm.
So presentations become most important. Not only that we ask the presentation to
Yeah.
be made by all the students in the assignment given, but those presentation were marked through a very
Mm.
validated rubric.
Yeah.
So
So
those rubric.
sorry to interrupt. Out of all this, like just now, the option A, like AI detection software, you put absolutely not. How
Yeah.
about assessment redesign? Out of 100%, how much weightage you are going to put on assessment redesign to integrate AI with our
Okay,
educational
that
strategies?
depends on your curriculum. That depends on different module,
Mm.
right? But basically, a good part of it, or
Sure.
a
Okay.
percentage of it, was given to presentation,
Mm.
assignment,
And
and presentation.
yeah. And
Assignment one time was felt is a useless thing, but I think assignment is very good because it tests the writing capabilities, the communication skills, and also the presentation skills. So
mm,
how do you defend your work? So it depends. It depends on module to module. How much emphasis we are giving to the knowledge base. For
yeah.
example, earlier on in module, we have more factual knowledge or recall knowledge emphasis, later
Mhm.
on the high order thinking. So as we move on, so
Yeah.
it will depend from the semester module to module,
Mm.
how much
Sure.
percentage the assignment should be given weightage in
Yeah.
terms of presentation.
Yeah, and the other option which I would like you to elaborate, like for sure, I think AI detection software. You say absolutely not.
And no,
Assessment redesign. You said you have to put a lot
it is
in
costly
them.
also, and it is not because
Yes.
I read a lot of literature about it. It
Mm,
doesn't really 100% sure. So
sure.
to pick up the plagiarism, you
Yeah.
using those tools. Yeah.
How about what's your reflection? And pardon me, I know you will get upset with this
Mhm.
option, but I just want to get reflection. Like a lot of some, not lot, institutions, they are following very strict plagiarism policies. How
Yeah.
how that will assist us integrating AI with our educational strategy?
You see, I'm little critical about it, and
Yeah.
at times people say I'm deviating the principles and all. But tell me
Mm,
one thing:
mm,
we spend a lot on proctoring when we are doing,
yeah.
because assessment mostly are online now. Our
Mm,
assessment is 100% online.
mm,
Paper pencil test is obsolete now. With us is
yeah.
100%. So when you do online assessment, you spend a lot on proctoring, right?
Mm,
Tell me, there's a paradox in this. There is one of the criteria with us, and most of the
mhm,
school is professionalism, right?
yeah.
So we say professionalism. Professionalism is something which is embedded throughout in the curriculum,
Yeah.
and it's not one module or two module which will teach professionalism. We look at the how the personality attributes are developed through this professionalism practice,
Mm,
integrity, honesty, and all.
mm,
So one of the criteria is students in with us. Students will only be allowed to sit in exam if they are satisfactory on professionalism, right?
mm,
So they are satisfactory on professionalism. You allow them to sit in the exam.
yeah.
Then you do policing on them, proctoring on them. On one place, you say they are honest enough, they are
Mm,
professional enough to be allowed, and they have fulfilled the criteria of professionalism to allow to sit exam.
yeah.
On the other hand, you spend a lot on proctoring, and also you doubt their integrity. Isn't
Yeah.
it a paradox, right? So
Yeah.
same applies here. So once you have tested them on their honesty, then
Mm,
don't do policing or proctoring,
yeah.
checking them on. But of course, many people will say that that's not, if we allow, cheating will be there, and taken everything there. But there is extent to to restrict AI also.
Mm,
You cannot restrict AI similarly. You cannot do policing in
mm,
the students using AI or the faculty using AI, but you
yeah.
should made it to practice in a way where it is logically used, train the
Mm,
student how
yeah.
to use this tool positively, logically, with the proper prompt training. This is very important. How
Mm,
do they give the prompt? And once the, some of the students have presented, having done their assignment with the help of ChatGPT, that was not relevant. I think they
yeah.
gave a prompt, ChatGPT gave them an answer, they brought it and they tried to defend it. They couldn't defend it, right?
Mm,
So through the feedback and the cross question, they couldn't defend it because the prompt use were not. You have to use a prompt. If you do not get the right answer, re-prompt the
yeah.
ChatGPT again and correct your prompt and
Mm,
find the answer which you are intended to. So
yeah.
those aspects are important, and we look into
I
that.
mean, I can't agree more with you because you need to do follow-up questions with all these AI tools and
Right.
convince the experts,
And it's very easy. It's better than the using a tool to detect the
detect.
plagiarism.
Yeah,
Yeah, bring
very
a
rightly
student in
said.
front of you, he present, and then you have a team. You
Yeah.
have a team of the
Mm,
judges or coaches or
yeah.
supervisor who cross question, and they
Mm,
can easily dig out whether
yeah.
this work is, even
So
if they have used ChatGPT, how much they have understood this content.
yes.
That's our
Mm,
intent, not
and
criticizing them how
yeah.
which resources they have used to learn.
Mm,
Yeah.
agreed. And the last option of this question, like, what is more critical determinant of educational integrity in age of AI? Mandatory faculty training.
Yeah.
So, what's your quick response on that?
Faculty training is a must, is
Yeah.
mandatory. And with
Mm,
us, we have made TPACK a mandatory workshop, which
mm,
every faculty, especially the new faculty who joins our institution, must undergo TPACK training. Because
mm,
remember that people think, and
mm,
many faculty think that TPAC actually overwhelmed by technology is something the faculty feel overwhelmed with the technology. The question often asked to me is, does the TPAC add to that burden? So my
mhm.
answer is TPAC reduces the cognitive load. It doesn't add on to the cognitive overload. It reduces. It discourages the chasing every new tool
Mm,
and instead promotes the purposeful use of the technology.
yeah.
So that's our logic of
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah. So my other question, and you have to just quickly pick one of the options, like what was the critical or central practical tasks you assigned to your faculty during your course, when you implement this faculty training course. Options are like redesign a traditionally delivered lesson for a hybrid format,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
to develop a new AI tool for creating lesson plans, or to
Okay.
write a research paper, or analyze student performance.
Okay, in this program in faculty development, it is, as I say, it is competency-based education and training.
Mm,
So we look at the task performance or
yeah.
the job identified that they will perform.
Mm,
So naturally, I'm sorry. So naturally,
it's
you
okay.
will test them on those job performed. So with us, as it goes on, you will realize faculty entering into your system as a teacher. So at that intake interview point of time, we now make sure that a faculty who is joining our program are well conversant with the use of technology as well, right? So
Mm,
that's something which has broke the tradition of engaging faculty based on their subject area mastery.
yeah.
So technology, we also little bit explore how much they use are conversant with the technology, right?
Mm.
So with this background, again I forgot your question. Can you remind me
Uh,
of the question?
no, it was like,
The faculty
what
development
was
and
the,
what
yeah,
emphasis we have.
yeah.
So emphasis we have in this faculty development. For example, a faculty enters.
Mm,
They are not aware of the LMS. They do not know how we are most of
mm,
our program are hybrid. Even if it's not hybrid delivery, we make sure that the module is prepared in a hybrid mode.
yeah,
So we might go back into a unprecedented challenge like COVID again. In that case, we will just in fraction of second we can move on to online teaching. All right.
yeah.
So it will not
Mhm,
be an emergency remote kind of concept which in COVID we practice. It is a planned hybrid program. All the
mm,
modules are planned in hybrid mode to move on in case.
yeah.
Right.
Yes,
So
I think you have answered a lot. That's
okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
So my final question is like, what was the key finding when it comes
Oh, no,
to?
I was talking about in this program. So we
Mhm,
train them in LMS Moodles. Then we also train them into in technology, AI, the
mhm,
micro learning, content development,
yeah.
H5P,
Mm,
use of H5P to develop the micro learning content, for
yeah.
example. we train them and alongside with the technology. I'm talking too much about technology, and it seems like as an educator, I'm defining what the pedagogy and the content has the role in TPACK. So you remember, Hassan, with you, we did one experience on bedside teaching
Yeah.
online, right,
Mm,
during the COVID. Everybody
mm,
laughed at us when we started this project.
mm,
But Genius
mm.
instructional design, we
Yeah.
incorporated with technology and
Mhm.
content, and we found it very helpful. So I
Yeah.
should talk a little bit on pedagogy side also. So Genius instructional design is one of the design which helps you a lot. The nine events of the Genius helps you a lot in designing your
Lesson and or
lesson plan.
activities and
So
even
yeah,
interactive
so
content, you know.
we
Mm,
use lesson plan
mhm,
in these workshop. One of the chosen lesson, one of the chosen topic in their
mm,
course. In those who are attending, we said it is up to you. Choose one topic, and we transform that using the Genius 9 instructional design, then hypothetical deductive approach, um, um, uh, 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 think aloud approach in its delivery, and on top technology.
yeah.
So that is how we practice this to and the same side we test them also. For example, in these courses, every faculty has to present a poster. They have to
Yeah.
design a poster,
Mm,
right? Alongside, they have their portfolio as well. So
wonderful.
they have to design a poster, defend that poster,
Yeah.
e-learn poster. So they have to defend. They have to produce one micro learning content using
Mm,
H5P, and they have to also show the use of the AI. They are
mm,
trained. You have trained them in 6 sessions, I think.
yeah.
E-learn session you had with my
Mhm,
faculty. So how the AI use. So we have all those
in
evidences and the artifacts. So
yeah.
the artifacts are, for example, one microlearning video is an artifact. They are story building, yeah,
Storyboarding, yeah.
storyboarding.
Yeah.
Storyboarding, they are trained before they put their hand to develop the content using H5P. They have to be expert in
Mm,
storyboarding. So
yes.
those all storyboarding is an artifact. The microlearning content is one of the product.
Mm,
E-poster is one of the protests which they have to defend also and present.
yeah.
So this is how we use this. So this help them practice
Mhm,
it forever,
yeah.
not just the workshop.
Great. So now I'm actually concluding our session and why we arranged this session. And once again, thanks, Prof, for sharing in detail and in depth.
And forgive me if I was
It's
little
okay.
sleepy and I was I
Yeah,
didn't,
it's
but I
okay.
tried my best to
Yeah. So the reason like this whole faculty development program get very strong feedback in positive mode, you know, and liked by a lot of other, you know, like you have presented the article also, and I was looking at the current status of that article. Let me show
Hassan,
everybody.
before that, one very important point I want to bring to all the audiences attending this
Sure.
session is the emphasis on formative assessment.
Hmm.
All along, your question about assessment and all, I forgot to tell. Now, you see, summative assessment is a need.
Hmm.
University need, higher education need. But
Yeah.
I tell you, the summative
Hmm.
assessment doesn't serve the purpose of a learner
Hmm.
to meet the expectation of the outcome that we expect them to have.
Hmm.
So the formative assessment should be more focused now with feedback.
Okay.
Summative assessment, many institutions will claim they have been is very useful for them to provide feedback. No, the feedback provided in summative assessment is after all the learning has happened, right? And it's
Hmm.
not very relevant. The any feedback provided not just on time is not a good feedback. Formative assessment has the opportunity of providing feedback. So please, I tell you, break this very hard line demarcation between summative assessment and the formative assessment. Break this boundary, or if you cannot break, dilute this boundary to bring in formative assessment. The only thing formative assessment, which is a very logical definition, that formative assessment cannot be used for decision making,
mm,
makes it a little questionable by many institutions using formative assessment. But I tell you that formative assessment, programmatic assessment, what happens in that approach, the formative assessment has the major role. You do assessment over time, right? So
mm,
faculty will be doing assessment over time, but over the end, a team which is not involved in teaching or assessing them will look into all the evidences collated over time through the formative assessment to decide on their summative decision,
mm.
on pass or fail. So it's
Sure.
very important, break this hard or rigid boundary, or dilute this rigid boundary between summative and formative, and practice
Mm.
formative assessment is
Great.
very important now.
Sure. So what I'm going to share now, I already shared the QR code, I think somewhere there on top at the corner. Those who want to access our paper, we just published at I think on 25th December,
Yeah.
29th December last year. So it's just fresh from the oven. So let me share my screen and very quickly we can we can actually go through. So this is the paper which actually Prof. Shahid, myself, and Dr. Said Mustafa Kazmi and Dr. Gohar Hassan were like part of authors and co-authors. So it actually summarizes very nicely and is open access. I have already shared the QR code, and if you want me to share the link in the chat. So what I was telling you, like why we have thought of doing this live thing, because look at, like, it's just 1 week maybe, or 2 weeks maximum, 14 views and 6 downloads, and there are more people who will be actually accessing this. So I'm
I think
sharing
it was published on 28th December. Yeah.
yeah, 29th December is written there.
29th December. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm pasting the link in the chat. Those who are interested in getting more detail what we have discussed today, feel free to access this paper, and please feel free to contact us also. And I think we are discussing, myself and Prof. Shahid, like how we uh, make it more scalable, whatever lesson Prof. Shahid have learned at AUB and what we have learned at IMU University. So how we can come up with a short course. So soon, stay tuned with our social media accounts. I think soon you will hear more about that short course. And if you have any suggestion what we should incorporate in those in this course, do let us know in the comments, Prof. If you want to add anything.
Okay, one thing I would like to add here before we close this session, Hasnan,
Yes,
allow
please.
me to, one of the other question that mostly was asked to me, is TPACK relevant now that face-to-face teaching has resumed?
Mm,
Right? That's a big question. Many institutions have abandoned online teaching. They say, no, everything has to be face to face, and the COVID has killed us. All this era we have allowed you to do online. Now you cannot do, you have to move on to face to face. I tell you one thing, face to
mm,
face teaching has returned, right? But
mm,
education has permanently changed after the COVID. It's permanently changed. That's why
mm,
we have developed our all module in a hybrid mode, right? TPACK
mhm,
supports hybrid intelligence, blending the strength in person and the digital learning rather than choosing one over the other.
yeah,
That's very important, right? So
sure.
it's not a right thing to compel faculty to have 100% face to face. They should be allowed some session hybrid and a hybrid mode or blended mode.
Mm,
So this is very important. So if another unprecedented challenge like COVID happens, we should
mm,
be ready to switch over. No faculty training or development should be required. They should swiftly change over to an online teaching in case. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
that
think
is very important.
wonderful. I won't say anything more because you have actually concluded it very nicely. Like blended learning approach is the way forward
Yeah.
for any kind of situation or challenge institutions may face even in future. So once again,
I
thanks,
give you
Prof.
an example, right?
Yes, Prof.
Very recent example.
Mm-hmm.
We all were returning after the vacations, right?
Yeah.
Our
Mm-hmm.
faculty, they to enter Barbados, you have to have either through London or through Miami, New York, and
Mm-hmm.
entire faculty got stranded in the all the cancellation of the flights. You know, this Venezuela and USA
Mm.
crisis. So many flights were cancelled. They were stranded. Our new intake was in, orientation was done, students were waiting, but faculty was not there because they
Mm.
were all stranded. And they we had no clue when they will be returning back to Barbados. So immediately we asked them, wherever you are, okay, take your sessions, go on online. And our all sessions were held online. That time we allowed, right? If
Yeah.
we have prohibited them using the online session, we would not have used this critical crisis time to allow online teaching. And last week, our all teaching was online. New intake were all taught through online by faculty stranded due to cancellation of flights in this crisis. Yeah,
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your recent practical. And
yeah,
I think I have also strong belief now, in the past also, but after COVID, actually, that belief even more strong gets strength, and but again, I think wonderful session, and those who will be watching recorded session, a recording of this session, feel free to post your questions in the comment and do let us know what we should include in our short course under this title. And in our launch of that short course, we will try to incorporate those expectations. Once again, thanks, Prof. And
thank you very much for inviting me. And I'm sorry again, I
no
slept, I
worries, no
forgot
worries.
because of the time zone difference. I thought here it's Friday and with you it's Saturday, right? So
Yeah.
I thought it's my Saturday, not your Saturday.
No
So
worries, no worries.
yeah, my wife woke me up. I said, Mr. Hassan is waiting for you for the session. I woke up and I said, what session? Which session is it? You, a
Yeah.
live session. That's why I'm coming.
Yes,
Okay.
it happens like we
Thank you
are.
very much for inviting. And
Stay,
audience, thank you very much for attending and your patience listening. And if you have more questions, you can contact us through LinkedIn. Okay.
sure. Thanks once again and stay safe, Prof. Okay.
Okay.
Assalamu
Okay.
alaikum.
Bye. Walaikum assalam and goodbye. Good night.
It's okay. Good
Oh,
morning
it's
here.
night here. I'm sorry. Not with you.
Okay, okay. It's
Okay.
actually good day to everybody. Okay.
Okay. Good
Okay,
day.
bye.
Bye bye.